and start.
Okay, so the holiday as we understand it is a holiday about light. That the candle oil, which was supposed to burn for one night, burned for 8 nights. However, if you look at the history, right, if you look at the actual documented history of what happened in the story of Hanukkah, you have a story of Maccabee fighters who were fighting against the infiltration of foreign gods and foreign ways. They were fighting Antiochus, who was a brutal dictator, but they were also fighting against Jews who were willing to give in and to assimilate into Greek ways of living and Greek worship. And what the Maccabees first do, their first act in fighting the Greeks, is to kill a Jew who's bowing down to a Greek statue. And they end up also killing the messenger of the king who asks the Jew to do that. But they start by killing this assimilated Jew. And of course, the Jews who are assimilated, being afraid, call 911. And who's 911? The Greek army, right? And so this war that we know of the Jews, the Maccabees against the Greeks, starts out as Jew on Jew. The Maccabees win, and we're happy that Judaism and Jewish people still exist, but they're really brutal, as we see from how they start. And they end up being an incredibly brutal regime, and they actually are the only Jews in history that we know of who do forced conversion. And so what's the connection with this oil story? The rabbis who are writing the Talmud a couple hundred years later look at this bloody regime and corrupt regime, and they say, we want to celebrate that. They don't talk much about Hanukkah, but what they say is that this story, which could be about violence and war, is about light. And it's about the rebels finding the temple ruined by the Greeks. But what are we celebrating? We're celebrating the fact that the oil that was for the eternal light, which represents God's presence, that could only last for one day, lasted for 8 days. They basically change the story. They do a rewrite. And why do they do that? Because they want to celebrate light, they want to celebrate God, and they don't want to celebrate physical violence and vigilantism, right? And so my question for this community and for all communities is, can we live a history that our grandchildren won't have to rewrite? Can we live a history that we'll be proud of and that they will be proud of, that will support survival not just for us or for our little group, but for everybody, and to bring light to all the corners of the world that need